Is the federal government creating a new class in Canada? The other day I was speaking to a truck driver, and he said that it's so hard to make ends meet, he is concerned that there's going to be a new political working poor class in Canada. Dan McTeague, longtime Liberal MP, is going to join me right now because I want to put that question to you. Because of oil and gas prices, everything has gone up. Are you concerned that there's a whole new substrata of society being created, and it's poor society?
Poor society, desperate society, cash society, society that isn't really being counted by the elites, by those who make the determinations as to where policies are going. And they're not on the radar screen, and yet they're everywhere.
Help me with that, because we don't hear the popular press, but you and I both know that when Trudeau went to London for the Queen's funeral, he stayed in a room that was $6,000 a night. So it's $30,000 for his stay there. Many people don't make that. The press is not reporting that. Trudeau takes 2 jets now when he goes down south to bring his friends and crew. And yet we don't have any unrest in Canada. I mean, what is going on with the fact that there are people who are really suffering and no consequences?
There is no opportunity for those consequences to be articulated. And the consequences being, of course, that normally you would see a circumstance where an election or something would come about that would force and imperil the government. But you have this sort of paradoxic irony, I call it hypocrisy, of governments like the Trudeau-Singhs government turn around saying, hey, you know, we're going to give, we want to be concerned about the cost of home heating oil, for instance, and saying we need to remove the GST, but say nothing about the carbon tax or the clean fuel standard, which are double and triple the burden. They're out of touch, but they know, Mr. Trudeau and Mr. Singh, they can prevent the public from having an opinion. They don't want an election, because if they ever did, they get a shellacking from that small group of people that have no voice.
But it's not just Canada. This month, there are 40,000 people flying into Egypt. You know this. It's for the 27th UN conference. These policies that the UN keeps putting out and our government keeps putting forward, and you're an expert on this, after 27 years, if it's not working, should you not stop and reconsider?
They can't. That's how they became what they are. These are grifters, political grifters, green grifters, economic grifters. They know that the narrative is broken. They know that Europe is in complete failure. It is being deindustrialized. They know that there's no money out there, and that countries like China and India and others are simply laughing. As for this, I think many have to consider that part of the effect of what they're doing in terms of putting all their eggs in one basket with renewables and doubling down on climate is that they've emboldened people like Vladimir Putin.
I mean, it's totally bizarre, but I think you're absolutely right. And maybe, Canada and the United States are going to be left behind.
Oh, they'll be left behind, but Anthony Guterres does not have the interests of the world at heart. He has the interests of his constituency.
The UN. That's all it is. 3 minutes, Dan McTeague. Thanks. So in 1 year during the pandemic, CBC paid themselves $33 million in bonuses above their great salaries. We need a discussion in this country. We need analysis. If you agree with that, please help us on the air. Press PayPal and subscribe.